Hi.
I swear. Hi. Thanks so much for coming and for speaking today about Ashcroft Farmers and Artisans Co-op. Okay, so just to get started, can you introduce your co-op and tell us about the work that Ashcroft does and what your connection to the co-op is?
Yeah, I am a director with the co-op. We're the Ashcroft Farmers and Artisans Market. We're in our second year. We're a group of four mothers who thought Ashcroft could use something more in our community for residents and communities beyond us to have a space to sell or just enjoy what the people of our area have to offer in our community.
That's awesome. Okay, great. Thanks so much. And what was the reason behind, I know you kind of spoke to it a little bit there, but what was the reason behind creating the Ashcroft Farmers and Artisan Co-op? What need in the community did your group want to address by starting this co-op?
Yeah, again, we wanted a space for farmers, artisans, and business in our area to have their products and businesses known, as well as we wanted more to do on weekends for locals to get out, as a lot of our storefronts are closed on Sundays. We also wanted a space for food supports and community partnerships to have a place to be able to come and show what they have to offer the residents in need in our community.
That's awesome. Great. Yeah, I remember speaking to you folks and early on when we were talking to Ashcroft Farmers and Artisans Co-op, and it sounded like there was just a lot of energy in the community around the project. So that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, and how did BCCA support your group through development and incorporation? I know I just said that we were speaking to you folks early on in your development. So yeah, can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, we were given a grant for us to work with a co-op developer, Daphne Nelson. She's from Co-operative. Yeah, and without her, I don't think we could have done it. She gave us so much support and answered all our questions when we needed them answered. We went into this not knowing basically what we were doing. We just wanted something more for our community. So having her support and just her there whenever we needed her. Yeah, we couldn't have done it without her. She's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to Daphne Nelson and Coactive Worker Co-op, which is a consulting co-op. Yeah, so this just to kind of highlight that this is kind of an example of a co-op that's gone through BCCA's referral system. So Ashcroft Farmers and Artisans Co-op came to BCCA with this idea, and then we were able to help them in terms of funding to work with Daphne to incorporate and kind of get started. So we're really happy to see that you folks are in your second year and that your first year was a success.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so can you tell us a little bit more about your co-op? How many members do you have and what do your members do? What benefit of membership do they get through joining Ashcroft Farmers and Artisans Co-op?
Yeah, so as of right now, we have 31 members, and it seems to be growing every week, actually. We get new members or vendors emailing us wanting to join. We have members ranging from bakers to potters to tea leaf readers, which is the most interesting one I think that we have right now. The benefit of the membership is they get a sense of community and a safe place to come and share what they have to offer. Again, our market is growing each week with new members or vendors joining. Vendors have the opportunity to reach a different customer base that they wouldn't normally reach outside of the market with the large range of vendors that we have currently. So someone that has like a Facebook page and they're trying to sell some woodwork, someone coming to the market looking to buy a loaf of bread might see their tent and get to know what they have to offer as well, and then you get a new customer. So we've seen that a lot in the last year and a bit.
Awesome, thanks for that information. Okay, so since the co-op's inception last year, how have things at the co-op been? Has the co-op evolved or reached any milestones?
Since our inception, the co-op has experienced remarkable growth and recognition within the community. We were honored to win the biggest impact award from the BC Farmers Market Association in the small market category, an achievement that filled us with pride, especially considering that we were nominated by someone in our community. This acknowledgement in our first year has fueled our decision to serving our community even more passionately. We've established a strong presence, diversified our product offerings, and fostered meaningful relationships with local farmers and artisans.
That's awesome. Congratulations. I did a little clap. Thanks for
Yeah.
sharing. And I can see in this photo, you folks are celebrating with, it looks like some sort of banner award from them. So that's awesome to
Yeah,
see.
that was the night that we got it. That
Oh, great.
that picture is like all over our laptops and everything. Yeah, we love it.
Oh, awesome. That's great. So what are some upcoming opportunities that your co-op is looking forward to?
Since our inception, the co-op has undergone significant evolution. While we've achieved milestones such as expanding our membership base and increased sales revenue, we've also encountered challenges, particularly in introducing and maintaining co-op governance. With all directors and members being new to the structure, navigating governance processes has required concerted effort and ongoing education as well. So we're always learning and evolving. Yeah, each week I think we learn something new.
Yeah, I think that's the case for every co-op, right? And that's part of, the work that BCCA really aims to do as well. So if ever, I know there's a bunch of members in the meeting today, if ever people have questions about governance or anything else, you can always email them to BCCA and we'll be happy to either answer them in-house, or of course we can refer folks out to the Co-op Developers Community of Practice. For consultants that could work with you on governance. And of course, we also have the governance workshop too. So I'm glad to hear that you're always evolving. That's kind of key to a co-op success.
Yeah, for sure.
Great. Okay, so what values do you see in being part of BC Co-op Association, or how can the association provide more value to co-ops like yours?
Being a part of the BC Co-op Association provides valuable resources, networking opportunities, and advocacy support. It enables us to access expertise, share best practices, and stay informed about industry trends and regulations. We were also so impressed with the funding guide that was sent out earlier. To further enhance its value, the association could facilitate more collaborative initiatives. But to be honest, we have been so swamped with our market business, we haven't had the opportunity to really take advantage of all the resources available to us through the BCCA.
Yeah, thanks. We'll take that into consideration. I think more collaboration is always a good thing in the co-op sector, especially considering Principle 6, cooperation amongst cooperatives, right? So thanks for that.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, just before we wrap up, because I'm also just trying to stay on time because we went a little bit over.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice or insight for new co-ops? You're a really great example of a co-op that started up recently and has been a success in their community. So do you have any insights for folks on the call?
Yeah. So for new co-ops, it's essential to prioritize community engagement. Without having your community engagement, they're not going to know about your co-op. Establish clear communication channels with members and stakeholders. That's one big thing that we learned in the last year is there's never too much information that you could send out. Like especially with our AGM, like some members were a little bit confused over a couple things. So I think just being very clear in what you want them to know and remain adaptable to changing circumstances. Building strong relationships, fostering a culture of transparency and inclusivity, and staying true to your cooperative values will be key to long-term success. Additionally, don't hesitate to seek support and guidance from experienced mentors and industry associations like the BC Co-op Association. And also get yourself a group that you work well with too. We've learned that us four really work well together, and we were kind of friends before, but creating this co-op really brought us together and we're more of a sisterhood now. So yeah, having people on your team that have the same values as you is really valuable.
That's great. Thanks so much for sharing that. And I think that's sound advice for all co-ops, not just new or emerging co-ops. So thank you so much for sharing. And yeah, do you want to speak to these just before we kind of wrap up and we ask people if they have any questions for you? Do you want to speak to these photos a little bit? I know you already spoke to the one of you celebrating, but maybe the other three?
Yeah, so that's the one of us celebrating right after we got that award. We were still on our like high there. And the top right picture is a day at the market. That's normally what it kind of looks like. Some days we have more tents. But yeah, it's quite a busy place and nice and sunny and lots of different vendors. The on the bottom there, that's myself and my son in our bakery trailer. He's there on almost all Sundays, helping out. He really loves it, and people love coming to see him too. So, like, creating that family engagement as well is very welcoming. And then that last one on the right, that's Chantel. She's one of our directors. She has Moonlit Ridge Farm, and she does sourdough and microgreens and things like that. So, yeah, we have a vast lineup of vendors, and yeah, it's just a happy place, as you can see.